Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Spa-Francorchamps. We've arrived here on the eastern edge of Belgium for the GP2 2019 Belgian Grand Prix. I'm Robert Ionescu, your commentator, and today I should have been joined by someone, but he's not in the call at the minute, so I'll have to wait for him to join a little later. But anyway, we're here in Belgium at what was an interesting Hungarian Grand Prix. A Hungarian Grand Prix in which Ruslan Prociuk took his first ever GP2 victory, throwing himself back all the way back up to 5th place in the standings. Yeah. Henry Watzel took second, and Tomasz Pascual came through to finish third, taking his second podium of the season. In the championship, Jamie Griffiths has taken has continued to hold the lead, I should say. But Hungary is a race you'll want to forget in a hurry. It was his worst race of the season, finishing 19th. However, one saving grace for him would have to be the fact that Dodo Corby, his main title rival at the minute, retired with a puncture. So yeah, both of the frontrunners of the championship did not score in Hungary. Are they gonna make up for it here in Belgium? We'll wait and see. Thomas Anderson is for the standings with Bets Valiger 4th, by the way. But yeah, enough of me babbling. It's time to get going, guys. My friend who's commenting with me has just joined, I believe. So I'd like you guys to say hello to Jamie Griffiths. Hello there, Jamie. How are you doing?
Hello, Rob. Hello, everyone.
Oh, you're here. Hey.
Yep.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I actually didn't know I was doing commentary until like just now because I have Discord and Do Not Disturb, so I didn't get the notifications or anything.
All right. Well, better late than never. We're ready to get going in the qualifying session, and first, it's time to take a look at the weather, which is going to be wet early on in the session, but at the start it will be dry. So there's a pretty solid chance of rain early on in this session. Cloud cover already being there, so you'll have to be careful, guys, to see if you can get your laps in. Yeah, it should be interesting because the first laps could decide everything.
Yeah, I commentated over this type of situation on Saturday at Montreal in DTM, and it was Archie Prajan on pole in the car that I used to drive, actually, so maybe that's a good omen.
Or maybe not, we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. They actually didn't get entirely dry in that session. It got drier, but it didn't dry up entirely, so it'd be interesting to see.
You can see raindrops are already here, so it's safe to assume the weather will get worse as it stands. So whoever goes out first will have an advantage, and that appears could be Ruslan Prociuk, the race winner from Hungary, with the first one to go out on track. And with conditions like these, this could be a winning maneuver from the MP Motorsport crew.
Yeah, but we'll have to wait and see, of course. Ruslan, of course, before the Hungary win, had a pretty bad stint of bad luck, and it's great to see him turn it around because he was in contention for the championship early on in the season.
Well, with 5 races to go, it's still anyone's game. The season's not over, and Prociuk, I think, is very eager to get back on the right track. That win in Hungary, I think, has only increased his morale even further. If he wants to mount a championship charge, he's definitely in the mindset for it now.
Yeah, we might see a lot of late charges from drivers down in the mid-pack. Of course, we saw Chris Chatfield did not score any points in the first 4 races last season. He ended up being in contention for the championship right to the very last round. So,
yeah, well, speaking of Chatfield, if you can remember, he won here last season in similar conditions to these, even though it was a lot more wet. And he was able to hold off Zorbach for second. Zorbach who finished second, I should say. Chatfield took the win, and it ended up being his last win in GP2, might I add.
Yeah, that was he was on a good run of form around that time as well, around Belgium, Hungary time. So, yeah, as Prociuk comes towards the end of his outlook.
Yeah, we got everyone out on track. This is the longest track of the calendar, so traffic shouldn't be that big of an issue, unlike in Hungary at the previous race. But Ruslan Prociuk will be beginning his lap soon enough, and as the weather gets worse, his luck might be the best out of all. He came out first on track, and he could have a great shot at pole position if this lap is good enough.
Yeah, and also let's, of course, take into the fact that Belgium is the longest track on the GP2 calendar. Is there a chance there is a chance there could
Carlos
be.
Surf goes Prociuk.
Yeah, there is a chance that the weather could be wet at one part and then dry at the other.
Yeah, indeed. And also, the track will get worse. It get worse over the course of this lap. So that's your more time Prociuk can gain, while the track is still good. As he goes up to Kevel Straight, he'll be approaching Lacombe soon enough. The first big braking zone apart from turn 1. 32.7. Definitely, the track conditions have taken a hit. The weather is clearly getting worse. And Prociuk has a good first sector there. Looks like there's a little bit of traffic behind him. The two cars right behind Prociuk on track seem to be a little bit of a fight as it goes through Jackie Hicks and now in towards Pont. Maybe just about flying the F1 cars, but definitely not here. And Prociuk still takes a quick line, gets out of speed there, went up to that inside cut, almost dipped that wheel on the grass, which could have been very dangerous. But Prociuk made it through okay. Goes to Fania up next. Through the left, which will launch him in towards the right of Stavelo. You need to get on the throttle early and take as much curb as you can on exit, but don't unsell the cars. It's 123.8 in the middle sector. So definitely the weather taking its toll. And Ruslan Prociuk, this could be the pole position lap. Let's see what type he is going to set as he goes through the fast Blanchimont. With the left-hander here. Took a little bit of the curb on exit, but not much. As he now brakes hard for the bus stop. Through the right he goes. And now through the left, the slowest part of the track. Ruslan Prociuk will finish his lap. It's definitely going to be impacted by wear, but what will his lap time be as he crosses the line? It's a 157.4. Is this going to be pole? Valdiger will be next to cross the line. Where can he place himself? In front of Prociuk by 4/10, but Tomaselli goes even quicker by a full second. Pashko next, he goes second. Now is Max Skillen next to cross the line. Skillen third. Yeah, surprisingly. Then is Graf next. He goes only 6th fastest, but Garfi 4th. Fashre will be next to cross the line. He places himself at P6. Henry Watzel is up next. He took 2nd in Hungary. Where can he go now? 5th. Bennett goes 5th now. Thomas Anderson is up next. Crossing the line. 2nd. Half a step down to Tomaselli. As Dudu Kurbi now takes provisional pole by 2/10 of a second. Because Zorbach is up next. And Zorbach only 8th place for him. Griffiths goes 14th. Only that's not good. Patel went into 5th place, I think.
Must have made a mistake.
Yeah, let's see where that happened.
Oh no, Nico overtook me.
But Zorbach was definitely much faster on his lap. So Carlin made a mess of things by releasing their cars too close to each other. They've done that before this season. Let's not forget in Hungary. And looks like they follow that again. But Zorbach's time was much better, man.
Yeah.
Considering the conditions, that could be a very costly mistake for the championship leader Steve. Karlovic has got into 3rd. Adventure only 8th for him. Kyle Burns is next. Can he match his teammate Kurbi? No, he can't. Only 11th. And Curtis is holding up Joe Warson, it is. And now again in the top 8. Carbo Coutinho up next. He goes 7th. Good effort for him. And Jake Galloway will be the last one to cross the line. He goes 17th. This could be the end result of this session, unless people find some time.
Tomaselli and Karlovic have set the same time for 2nd.
Yeah, indeed. Both these guys have taken pole before this season, as has this man, Dudu Kurbi.
Same Bennett and Burns as well, also set identical times.
Yes.
This is very crucial for Dudu Kirby's championship hopes right here.
Well, those 4 points he's going to pick up if he holds on to pole are going to be a big help for sure.
Yeah, of course, me and Dudu did not score any points in Hungary, so championship standings as they were going into Hungary were the same coming out of into Belgium. So
yeah, Griffiths holds a 6-point lead, but if Kurbi starts on pole tomorrow, that lead will be cut to 2 points. And I'm not even going to talk about what's going to happen in the race tomorrow. Just 4 points for taking pole itself. As got drivers heading into the pits.
yeah, I just hope that I don't get held up by Nico on the lap next time by.
Another issue I want to speak on is Ruslan Prociuk's lap, because that was underwhelming, I have to admit. He had the best conditions of all these guys, and unfortunately it looks like he messed up a little bit.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for him, but he's got to hope now, as well as a lot of drivers, it gets drier towards the end of the session if the rain stops, but it doesn't look like it's going to be holding up for the moment.
Galloway will be coming in as well now.
And Thomas Anderson
But
in fourth as well.
If you saw the weather, only the first bar, with the chances of rain, only the first bar was filled. So there's definitely a chance of the track getting dry as we proceed. But there's not a lot of time in it. As in comes Galloway.
Yeah. As I was going to say, Thomas Anderson's in fourth as well. You can't get him out in the championship fight as well. This might be a good qualifying session for him. As Valdinger's out on the track.
Definitely going out early. Tomasz Pascual in the Campos. I thought it might have been Tomaselli for a second, but no. It is his teammate. And I gotta say, both Camposes have done a brilliant job so far. Of course, when Zorbach drove here last season, we got them up into second place. So Campos are definitely good here in Belgium.
Yeah, and Tomaselli, I think, was sat behind someone on his lap as well. I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Baldinger, actually. So maybe they're still trying to find for Lorenzo.
There you have it. It is getting worse now, and that might be Paul for Dudu Kurbi.
That's not good for me either. I should improve because the time is so much slower, but it depends on how much wet it will get throughout my lap.
See. Try not to be too first person when commentating, by the way. I mean, I'm guilty of that myself sometimes in DTM, but you gotta keep it balanced, you know. It's definitely getting worse though out there. Burns is going out now, as is Dudu Kurbi. Ratsuk is back out on track as well, but I don't see Griffiths anywhere. Bennett, Zorbach, well, speaking of Bennett, he's just gone out, as has Zorbach, so it's only Galloway and Griffiths are still in the pits as it stands.
Baldinger ran
as Vance Baldinger will begin his second lap with 20 minutes to go in this session. Could he find any sort of improvement, or is the track getting too bad? Here goes Baldinger.
Into La Source. Jake Galloway is coming out the pits to see where he comes out in front of Tomaselli or not. And he does. That's right, Pascal. He's actually going to hold him up here going up to Rouge Radion.
Oh, Galloway had a big crash there at Eau Rouge here last season, let's not forget. And that almost happened again, but thankfully it didn't. Yeah, was it Galloway or was it someone else? I don't remember who he crashed to, but anyway, that did happen. Baldinger is actually up by 100.
Because that's just the first sector, is mostly flat out apart from the source. And maybe Eau Rouge Radion. So maybe the second sector is going to show whether he loses time or not on his lap.
Or if he is able to somehow gain some more. As he approaches Jackie X now. That was a good line though, I won't lie. Baldinger does appear to be...
Okay, so maybe we might still see some...
Definitely have to slow down a little bit there more than usual in Puon.
Yeah.
Now he goes through the first Vanya. And now the second. Baldinger will approach Stavelo in the end of the second sector. Can he gain anything at all? And no, he can't.
He's way down.
Some. Yeah, indeed, look.
Yeah, second sector is definitely where the time is going to be lost on people's laps here.
Absolutely. And the loss of time isn't something you can mend in sectors 1 and 3. It's something big. As Benz Baldinger will be crossing the line soon enough as he exits the bus stop in a few seconds. There he goes. He'll power across the line, and it looks like he'll be staying 16th.
Yeah, as Galloway starts his lap, although I don't expect him to prove, obviously. Tomaselli is not improving. This run might be null and void for everybody.
I think Tomaselli won't mind that because he's currently on the front row. If the conditions stay like this, nobody will be able to knock him off that spot. Skillen will be next to cross the line. He can't improve either, no surprise. Now we look at Ruslan Protsiuk.
Yeah, and there's a big gap between Protsiuk and the next car, which is Chuck McCarthy.
Yeah, indeed. People appear to be losing ground in the first sector as well now. As McCarthy will complete his lap up next.
He's yeah, it's getting worse actually because he's 4 seconds off, and the guys the first set of laps were only 3 seconds off, so it's definitely gotten worse.
Absolutely there, I agree with you. Let's now look at Henry Watzel. Obviously won't be improving. We've got Graf and Kalevich racing each other here at the run towards La Source. 2-minute lap time for these guys though. I assume they impede each other a bit. Warson also goes into 2 minutes. Quintino, 159.0 for him. Adventure next. As Patel is racing Dudu Corby in the background, look. Cal Burns crosses the line. He can improve 3 seconds off the pace. Bennett will be next with Zorbach behind.
And Galloway, his lap was going to be slow already, but he's going to get held up even more by these guys racing each other here to get back to the pits.
I'm surprised Wallinger lost so much time and got caught by Pashkol. And now Galloway will be trying to overtake him.
Yeah, Galloway was already close to Pashkol, so they've both collectively caught Waldinger.
Ah.
And as Galloway
Here comes Rick Galloway.
It's a 2
2
minute
minute one. I think that's the contender for slowest lap of the day. But judging these conditions, who can blame them?
Yeah. This is likely not to get any drier from here on in.
Nope. No, probably not, but you never know. 15 minutes can mean something, and in those 15 minutes, there could be a twist.
If the F1 game is the F1 game is anything to go by, the weather can shift quite quickly at Spa.
But yeah, that is very true. We had a drop of rain in Hungary, but that only came after the checkered flag had already come out. Did it get dry or was it always dry? Okay. The track I think is getting worse. Look, Corby was 7 seconds down in his personal best from middle sector.
Yeah, and Zorbach is getting held up here by Bennett, but they've already set their laps, of course, so they're on their way back to the pits.
Yeah, indeed. And look how much spray Bennett's kicking up. The track is definitely not as good as it was before. And that could be another session indeed. Galloway, 5. Was that 5 seconds he was losing?
6 seconds. 6.2, I think.
I was looking at his personal best, not at the leader. But yeah, looks like this is it for Jake Galloway today. He's down 17th, and I think Wallinger's going out again.
Yeah, he was first in the last run.
He's got wet tires on. And I think Inters, my bad. I think I saw them on Kalevich as well, so Kalevich will be trying to go out. Tomaselli is out on the Inters.
Yeah, they were on the slicks on the first couple of runs because of course these tires have the grooves in them now.
Yeah. But don't expect anybody to improve. The battle laps were in dry conditions after all.
Yep.
Good reminder though there from Joe in the chat. Pole on this track is usually a disadvantage because so many times we've seen the guy on pole get jumped off the line by the guy in second and lose the lead to the source. Maybe it can happen again tomorrow. It won't be greatest news for Dodo Kirby, but we'll see.
Yep. And of course, that would mean it's good news for either Thomas Elliott or Karlovic. It could come down to whoever gets the better start.
Mm-hmm.
Belding is going to start a lap shortly. See how much
There's
he's
nothing
slow.
to play for anymore, so let's just enjoy this lap. Weilinger knows he can't improve, so he's just gonna drive for the hell of it, for the sake of it, I should say. So here goes Benz Weilinger for his third flying lap of the day, which will obviously be his slowest of the day considering the weather.
Yeah, Waldinger could be getting some wet weather experience because you never know, it could actually be a wet race for tomorrow.
Could be indeed. But obviously we don't know yet, as Rahul Patel is out on track, look.
Yeah, and it looks like Thomas Elliott is actually going to get held up again here. But it looks like, I think that's Dodo Kirby. They're side by side.
Yeah, but none of it matters. And could that be an omen for tomorrow's race?
They're racing each other already. Waldinger's 1.2 down in the first sector from before he was up.
Well,
The
yeah,
second sector is going to be quite slow.
Galloway is the only one who stayed in the pits, and I don't blame him for that.
Valling is set a 129 in the second sector. It's 7.2 off Kirby's first time.
Conditions definitely atrocious here.
Yep.
Weilinger will be finishing his lap. And I want to tell you something funny, guys. On the track map that Flo sent us, Pujon is actually not called Pujon, it's called Double Gauche, which obviously means double left. So that's a very literal name. Obviously not the greatest one. Once he finishes his lap, a whole 9.5 seconds down on his personal best.
Yeah, as Pascal is completely 10 seconds off of Kirby's time there. This looks like it will be the final result. So I shouldn't imagine he'll get drier from here on in. There's 9 minutes left.
Yeah, we've known that for a while. Jamie Griffiths will be next. Obviously no improvement for him. And this one I think will hurt. He'll be starting from the back, while his main rival will be on pole. He's got the one hell of an effort tomorrow to limit the damage.
Yep.
Sorry about the lack of action, but as you can clearly guess, sorry about the lack of action from the commentary booth, but as you can guess, there really isn't anything to comment on. Yeah. We'll just let this session play out.
Appreciate
we already know the official results, but we can't confirm it until the very end. But we know nothing is going to change. Zorba crosses the line. A whole way down. Ross is still racing with Kirby. These are the front two for tomorrow's race, so that could be interesting. The front row guys already practicing a little bit of racing.
It's very
And who
interesting that
knows,
they're
it
getting
might
risky.
be in the wet condition. Yeah.
It's interesting how the pit entry at this version of Spa has a chicane.
Yeah, indeed. It's weird, but it's also funny, I guess, in a way. Anyway, so far this season, there are how many people? Wait, so far this season, there are 2 people who've taken pole twice. Those being
Oh.
for real. Was it Carlin messing up, or maybe a sign of the conditions improving? Which one do you think it is, guys? Anyway, I wanted to speak on earlier. There are only 2 people so far who've taken pole more than once this season. Those being Lorenzo Tomaselli and Marko Kalevic. Well, if it stays like this, which it will, Dodo Corby will take his second pole this season as well, and he'll join that roster.
Yeah, and that should cut the championship lead down to 2 points, I think.
Yeah, indeed. And if Dodo Corby can win tomorrow, he'll definitely take the lead. But that's a big if. All we know for sure that is that 99.9% chance he will be on pole, unless we get a heavenly drying up of the weather.
Yeah, I think it's still
Dell,
getting
we're looking at
worse.
him.
Slightly, but I think it's still getting worse. And as he's put the slicks on as well.
Alright. Today, I think
Yeah,
one of the key stories will be Carlin, because they messed up big time, I feel. And because of that, their drivers are both in the second half of the pack. And this is especially bad for Jamie Griffiths. What do you think?
It might not be the worst thing in the world, because starting at the back means that all the action is going on in front of you. You have a better chance to avoid it. Plus, like you said, with earlier, pole position doesn't really guarantee the win this track. So
Tomaselli is going out, the man who could take advantage most by qualifying in second, and he's gone out on the inters.
yeah. This could be interesting to see how much will dry up in the last 5 minutes, but I don't expect nothing big.
I do expect, however, some people will not come out right now. They'll come out towards the very end, and that could help them. It'll help them enough? I don't know. Probably not, because there's still big amounts of spray coming from the rear of Jake Galloway's car.
Yeah, it could
There's
depend
still a
on.
lot of standing water, and that could be a big problem for the drivers.
Yeah, it could depend on as well how much it dries by. If it dries up too much, then the inters are going to be slower and there's going to be no improvements. So it's all about
Yeah,
timing it
indeed.
right.
I don't think though there's anything much to do, because if you go out on the inters, you're not gonna improve. You need to go out on the dries and hope for a miracle, basically, as we got just over 4 minutes to go in this session.
Yeah,
Jake
maybe
Galloway
amount
is
of
out.
spray.
On these tires, he will not be improving, and there's still loads of standing water. Maybe he might gain just a little bit in some corners where it's dry, but across the
Maybe
entire
in the
lap,
first
no way.
sector.
Nah, definitely not. Look how cautious he was there. Still tippy-toeing,
Yeah.
I guess. You can see
And
the
he's gonna
standing
get
water
held
for
up.
yourself. Not that it matters much anyway, but Kalevic has gone out on track in front of him.
Yeah.
Looks like Burns, Kurz, and Corby are still in the pits at the moment. Galloway gaining the slipstream of Corby, but it's not going to do him any favors. You know what the weather is like at the moment. But here comes Galloway anyway. And they didn't mean for that to rhyme,
1.4.
okay?
1.4.
1.2 down on his personal best, so definitely this isn't it. 3 minutes and a bit to go. Corby and Burns, the two Ardens, are the only ones left in the pits. So maybe, if the conditions improve, the only one who could deny Corby pole could be his own teammate, who has just gone out on track, but it's highly doubtful. Looks like Corby will be staying in. He doesn't even need to go out anymore.
I think Flo mentioned that they're all on Inters, so I don't think there will be any improvements.
Yeah, but we don't know what tires Burns has chosen. Anyway, we're looking at Galloway, who you don't need to be a fortune teller to tell that he won't be improving on this lap, but we're looking at him nonetheless. He's stuck behind Marko Kalevic. Looks like we had some guys on dry tires though from that quick shot of
Yeah.
everybody.
They do look similar.
Alright then. Okay, fair enough. We got just over 2 minutes. Galloway trying to find a way on Kalevic, but he can't exactly do that. Dodo Corby will be celebrating pole position from the pits. He won't be going out anytime soon. Here comes Galloway. He's gonna send it down the
Needs to be
inside of
careful.
Kalevic. Well, he got him initially. Kalevic has the inside over second part of the chicane. They're gonna go side by side to complete this lap. Obviously not an improvement from Galloway. All the way down. His session is over. He'll be starting in P17. And I'm saying that guaranteed because nobody will improve to beat him. Pascual gets the checker flag next to his name. So does Waldinger. No surprises there. Tomaselli, his last shot at pole position. You can already tell he's not going to get it. But anyway, let's see if Tomaselli can take pole as he crosses the line. And what a surprise. No, he can't.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the track has improved that much despite it have stopped raining.
It still looks as bad. You can see all that spray being kicked up from the rear of the car. It's still a long way away as well. Burns will start his lap in time, but it's not doing very much good. Gabriel Quintino, his season could be turning around. He's last in the championship at the minute, and he'll be starting P7 on the grid. P7. I was gonna say 6 for a second, but no, he's P7 on the grid. And Watzel is up next, and he's down in a lowly P15. Not what he wanted after that strong result in Hungary. If he wants to build some momentum, this isn't the way for him to do it. Joel Watson will be next to cross the line to finish his session. And yeah, Watterson is currently in P11. Obviously, he'll be hoping to do better considering Kalevic is 5 times in front of him. Watterson shouldn't be too disappointed. He has a chance at points tomorrow. Troitsuk also finished his lap, as does Griffiths now, who will be starting at the back. Thomas Anderson finishes his session, so does Patel. Bennett next, he finishes it as well. And eventually cross the line next, we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Checker flag is out, Fresh didn't improve. End of the session, Graf will not improve either. And neither will Zorbach, he'll be starting in 14th on the grid.
Maybe we
Michael
can see
Kalevic.
a slight improvement from Kyle Burns, maybe, but not too much.
Well, the front three are the only ones who've taken pole twice this season, and they'll be sharing the top 3 places on tomorrow's grid together. And yeah, Kalevic didn't improve, no surprise there. Neither will Aaron Curtis. Curtis is currently down in 19th. This is probably his worst qualifying of the season. He won't be happy with that. So Tomaselli is coming into the pits, looking at Kyle Burns, who is obviously not improving. His teammate has taken pole position. And Kyle Burns, an unlucky P13 for him. Same exact time as Thomas Bennett, but by virtue of setting it after him, he'll be starting behind.
Yeah, and it didn't look like he improved that much on this lap. So the tracking conditions definitely didn't improve at the end.
Nope, and that was a good thing for Dodo Corby, but a bad thing for just about everyone else.
Yep.
That is the end of the session. Everyone is done. And Dodo Corby has taken his second ever GP2 pole. He joins Tomaselli and Kalevic, the other 2 guys who have taken pole twice this season. And yeah, he also joins them in the top 3, so that's a good coincidence. Something I like seeing. Anderson, who was fastest in qualifying twice this season, but only took pole once because the first time in Austria he said the same time as Tomaselli, is in 4th. This is very funny. Everyone in the top 4 set the fastest lap in qualifying twice this season. But only 3 of these guys have taken pole twice. So there's something for you guys to comment on. It's a funny coincidence, but yeah, as you said, won't matter too much. Pole at Belgium, pole here. No, this is probably the only track where you don't want to take pole, because we know that curse that you're gonna lose the lead into turn 1, and I think Thomas Eli will be cheering on that prospect as he chases the win, and he'll be trying to take it away from Dodo Corby off the line. We're still looking at Graf and Zorbach. Not a good day for them, I'm afraid, but there's plenty that can change tomorrow. Zorbach finished 2nd last year, so if there's anybody on this grid who knows how to drive at Spa, it's him. Anyway, the session is over, and here are the official results.
The top 3
have taken pole. Yeah, Tomaselli is in front of Kalevic, so don't trust the graphic. Dodo Corby is first, pole position. No one can take it away from him. The graphic says that Kalevic is second in front of Tomaselli, but that's not true. Tomaselli is second in front of Kalevic. Anderson is 4th, followed by Tomas Pascual. Hupetel is in 6th place. Gabriel Quintino 7th. Max Killen P8, just 2 places down on his teammate. And he is in front of Daniel Adventure in 9th. Tom Carthy is in 10th, with Joel Warson in 11th. And watch out behind, because Burns and Barrett are reversed.
Yes, it looks like that Flo has some work to do. So Zorbach in 14th and Watson in 15th, with Valdinger 16th, Galloway 17th, Fageray 18th, Curtis 19th, Trotsik 20th, and on the back row it's Graf and me in last.
Yeah, indeed. I think the headlines for this qualifying session are going to be pretty big. Corby takes advantage of the conditions while Carlin fumble it. And yeah, if Griffiths wants to take the lead tomorrow and extend... if if Griffiths wants to extend the lead at the top tomorrow, he's going to need to overtake 21 cars and get up to Dodo Corby, and that's going to be quite difficult.
Yeah, I definitely won't count out points tomorrow, because there's going to be a lot of action on the first couple of laps.
Yeah. Obviously, there's nothing to comment on the part of the session that was wet, but what do you think of the first laps for everybody?
It definitely makes a couple of headlines those first few laps, and it's going to make for an interesting race tomorrow. So
it's good to see that. It's good to see that we got the usual contenders up there at the front. Corby, Kalovic, and Tomaselli, as I've touched on so many times today, they've been at the front, and they've been very good in qualifying and multiple times this season, as has Thomas Anderson and Rahul Patel down in 6th place. Pascual is a good qualifying for him as well. And I think it's all to play for tomorrow. For much of this session, it was nothing to play for. But for tomorrow, it's everything. Everything's on the line, and everybody could take victory. Dodo Corby will be on pole, but how long will it be until he loses that lead of the start? We'll see. And hopefully for his sake, he can keep it, but hopefully for everyone else's sake, they can take it away from him. We'll see what's going to happen. But until then, I have been Robert Ionescu.
I've been Jamie Griffiths.
And this has been the demonetized qualifying session. We'll see you again for the next one, guys. And don't forget, team news are tomorrow. Formula E signups are also open. So if you care about team news, which you should care, then make sure you tune in tomorrow before practice for the OC Belgium Grand Prix. And of course, the race tomorrow. And yeah, if you want to sign up to Formula E, go ahead and sign up. But yeah, that has been it. This has been the session. We've been ourselves. We already made the outro. So yeah, see you around for the next one, guys. Take care.
Bye.